Hi, it's Dr. Amanda with StraightSmile Solutions. Today I want to talk to you candidly about what to do being a dentist with this whole coronavirus thing. I know this is all going to blow over within 6 months to a year, and it's just going to be a story you're going to tell your kids and your grandkids later. But it kind of came out of the blue, and those of us who are dentists, it's like, oh no, we already see it hitting our bottom line, and we do, but it doesn't have to be that way. So let me give you some tips on how I'm advising my clients to use this time wisely. Okay. So I know that, I don't know about you, but my schedule, at least in terms of normal activities that we have with our family, it's fallen apart, everything for the next few weeks is canceled. So, even a lot of my travel's canceled. It's like, oh my goodness, what am I gonna do for the next few months? Kind of blows my mind. I've never had so much free time, but not necessarily not wanting to have free time, right? So, but let's talk about your business. So if you're got a dental practice, you're probably freaking out, and I get it. I remember, I'll tell you the story, 10 years ago, 2009, I guess that was 11 years ago, H1N1, if those of you were around back then, same thing happened. There's mass hysteria. I don't even know if it was as much as this, but I remember, so just some tips. I remember with my practice, I definitely had a pretty hard line about patients coming in sick, no runny noses, no coughs. I had a temporal scanner and I would scan my patients. I saw 70 to 80 patients a day, if not more, 6 chairs. I was scanning everyone. That's part of it. If you have a fever, bye-bye. You have a cough, goodbye. You put a nice little sign up so they know when they check in. And I know people don't want to reschedule, but out of a courtesy to others, we have people who have medical issues and stuff. We need to have our office be a safe office and to our employees and stuff. So you just have to enforce it. And same thing in the waiting room and everything else. And you'll have to nicely escort patients out when needed. So it's just how it is. So I would definitely start with that. It takes 5 minutes to put a sign up, train your staff on scripting. Just be kind, people understand. And for the most part, you're going to need to relax your cancellation policies. And I know that some people will take advantage of it, and that's just what's going to happen. People will. I'm sick, that's how it is. So no 24-hour penalties, nothing like that. Relax it, let it go. There's going to be no shows. But there's also going to be people calling, trying to get in last minute appointments. Create a wait list, let people know, be calling people on your schedule for the next week, moving them up, if you have a hole in your schedule. And you can even explain, people understand. A lot of times people are concerned about saying, hey, I have a hole in my schedule, but you can say someone or our patient's canceled, a lot of patients are sick right now. We're glad to move you up earlier if you'd like to come in. A lot of people will appreciate that. Beyond that, I would take another step and start considering virtual consults. You can use virtual consults, teledentistry for all kinds of things in dentistry. And what a great time to get started with ortho if you're not already doing it, because a lot of ortho can be totally removable and have very little to no appointments. So, you can do the virtual consult. They can come in and get a scan and delivery, and boom, everything else can be done, remotely. And even your existing ortho appointments, very easy to convert into remote appointments. Very, very easy. There's a lot of turnkey apps and other programs for virtual consults. I'll be glad to. You can watch all my other videos. Just Google virtual consults and StraightSmile Solutions. I've got blogs about it. I've got videos about it. So many different vendors out there. I love them all. Some are cheaper than others. Some are not. Some are going to connect you to a dashboard. Some are HIPAA compliant email based. My suggestion is to get started, just do something simple, work your way up. So, for as little as $100 a month, you can have unlimited virtual consults. That's crazy cheap. What a great way. Of course, you're going to have to get the word out, right? So, you've got your own patient base. What a great time to start getting started on some internal marketing. If you're not already doing it, I'm assuming you have emails for everybody, a newsletter, stuff like that. You can use MailChimp, Constant Contact, some of the other ones. I think mine is as little as $20 a month. Just drag and drop the email addresses in. It'll probably take someone 3 hours to set it up. It's really, really easy. And if you're not very technologically savvy, I think you can hire someone to do that for, I can help you with it. It's really easy. So if I can figure it out, you can figure it out. It's super, super, super easy. And often your staff is very technologically savvy. If you want to use MailChimp, that's what I use. I can give you a few tips. So just give me a buzz. I'd be glad to help you. I'm all about that. Let's play it forward, pay it forward. Beyond that, we talked about virtual consults. Let's talk about virtual check-in. So what a great time to get started with phase one, with aligners. All these things are going to be, for the most part, could be virtual and very easy to do. So get started. Of course, you're going to want to have a scanner. That's going to make things way easier. You can find it scanning scanners for as little as $500 a month. Lab fees are crazy cheap on aligners. You can do white label aligners. I have all this information. Go to gpwebinar.com. I've got tons of information on there. Of course, my YouTube videos, I think I have something like 500 to 1,000 already. Just search and put the information in and it'll come up. But yeah, do not despair. This might last 3 months, 4 months, 5 months, 6 months. You're gonna see a dip. It's how it is. But if you make plans now and get a little bit more digital, you're gonna have to get the word out there. If you're willing to invest a little bit, so none of this is really gonna cost you anything. It might take a few hours of your time, but it's not gonna really cost you anything. You got to get the word out there too. So there's a lot of really great social media experts out there. I've had a bunch of crappy ones, to be honest. I've been taken advantage of. I've been through the ringer with this. I stink at Facebook marketing. I can tell you that. I'm very good at a lot of stuff. For some reason, that didn't work for me. I was boosting posts. I probably was easily wasting $10,000 a year on that. I didn't know how to do it. I tried. It's just, it's a lot harder than you think. And you have to understand it. And it's basically a full-time job for someone to go in and be tweaking and modifying your ads and stuff like that. And I know ads are a bad word, but it's all about getting the word out. Back in the olden days, even when I graduated, what was an ad was a full page, Yellow Pages ad. That was an ad. Well, I have a full page in the Yellow Pages. What's that? My kids don't even know what a Yellow Pages is. So think of how much things have changed from one generation to another. Now, how do people find their information? Boom, they go on their phone. They're using YouTube. They're using Instagram. They're searching. These are search tools. It's not Yellow Pages. It's not even Google anymore. So it depends on what type of demographic you're trying to reach. But you need to most likely have somebody helping you with your social media. It doesn't have to be big, okay? It doesn't have to be big. Remember that they're just going to be getting the word out there. You're going to have to create the content. And that's a whole nother cost if you're asking someone to create the content for you. And that's the biggest mistake I see most doctors making, is that they're willing to pay the money, for someone to do the ads for them, but they're not giving the ad people what they want, which is content. So what's the cheapest content is your great work. You have tons of content. It's just all around. Every patient that comes in, whether you do a nice filling, a nice crown, whitening, you do ortho, even if your ortho's not done, even if it's just started, all you need to do is have your patients sign a social media release, boom, bam, done. It's good. Blog about their job. Obviously give them a courtesy that you're going to be posting it, because even though if they signed it, they're going to be like, whoa, if they saw that, maybe they don't want to. I always like to let people know, hey, do you mind? Often if you do it and you tag them, the mom's sharing it everywhere. They share it all over the place, especially if you pick an awesome family to partner with that already has great social media. Here's another thing you can be doing during the coronavirus. Have someone on your team, if it's not you, if you don't already have Instagram, you got to get the gram, because the gram is the best way to get the word out there. So, whether you're looking for patients, millennials, 20s, 30s, they're all using Instagram. They're not using Facebook. So get on there, have someone start a business Instagram account if you don't already have it, and don't just passively. You're going to start creating content. There are different Hootsuite, Buffer. I use Buffer, where you can load your content and it shuffles, like shuffling cards. So you can preload it. I preload mine I add stuff as it comes in, but mostly about every week or two. I see what did well, what didn't. I repost it, I reboost it, I change some of the verbiage. It's constantly changing. I'm constantly adding new things. I'm recycling stuff, getting rid of stuff that wasn't very popular. But what a great way to have somebody getting on there and setting up that account. Again, mine's only $20 a month, I think, is all I pay. No, it might only be 10. It's crazy cheap. And you don't have to worry about posting, because you just load it. You set it and forget it, and it does the work for you. And it's funny because people don't realize that, and people are like, wow, you're so active on social media. I'm like, no, I'm not. Every day, part of my KPI. So again, things that we talk about, my goals to myself every week is to create a couple pieces of content. Some weeks I might create a lot, like this week. Depends on how busy I am, how inspired I am, what I think about. Some weeks I'm going to create very little because maybe I'm busy. So, it all balances out. But that's my goal, is to create content. And I'm constantly listening to the feedback from my doctors. What do they want to learn about? Give people nuggets. You as a doctor, you have so much content up here in your brain. You can talk about stuff. You can talk about the cases you did, giving tips. Think of all you talk about throughout the day. I mean, I can think of all the instructions. That's basically how my business got started, is I had so much content, so much stuff to share. I started sharing not only for doctors, but also for patients. And from there, it turned into I stepped away from my clinical practice because it was a full-time career. I'm not saying you're gonna do that, but you have so much content. Use this downtime for your staff. Your staff has content. Your front office has content from how home care instructions. It's time to record those videos. If you can keep your videos under 1 minute, then you can post them on Instagram. So it's better to have multiple small videos that you can do. You can put them on YouTube. YouTube's a huge search engine. You can link them back to your website under FAQs. Just so many things you can do during this downtime. And yes, it maybe isn't directly going to get you patients in your chair, but it actually will. As you start doing this, it actually will. Because you'll become a more trusted doctor, a knowledgeable doctor. People feel like they already know you. I mean, obviously, don't come off arrogant or snotty or anything like that, because that could work negatively. You need to have someone checking the videos, making sure it's done well. I mean, people realize that on YouTube, it's not always professional videos. You can use something like Fiverr or one of these services, $5 a video. They'll trim it, they'll edit it. It's really easy. They send it back to you in a day. They can put a new background, a logo, whatever, a watermark. It's really, really cheap. So all kind of hacks that you can do. I'm glad to show you. If you want to give me a buzz, you can visit my website, StraightSmileSolutions.com. Glad to help you. Okay, anyway, so if any of that sounds good, I'm happy to chat with you. I have downtime now too. Glad to chat. It's kind of slow. A lot of my vacations got canceled. My conventions got canceled. I'm bored, so give me a call. Let's chit chat. I have all kinds of cool and convenient times. I don't care if you're in Asia, in the US, in Europe. There's a time for you. So visit my website. And this is just another thing that you could do too, is having virtual consults that, if you set aside, think about this, back in college, didn't you have professors that had office hours, right? So they'd have office hours. I mean, like, these weren't virtual, like you'd actually go in, but they'd be like, my office hours are Tuesday from 4 to 6. You can do the same thing. You can carve out a little piece of your week regularly. That basically is office hours, where patients can connect with you virtually. They could schedule. You can use an app like I do, like Calendly, where they can schedule a quick 10-minute conversation where they can meet via Skype. You can get, this is a green screen back here. So you can get, all you do is pop it up, pop it down, and you can have any background you want. It's super compact, and there's really tiny ones that you can pop up. And you can do this anywhere. It doesn't matter where you're in a closet, in a bathroom, you can be filming. A $10 tripod with your cell phone. It's super easy. This is stuff I guarantee you your staff knows how to do all this stuff. They're great with videos. Give them this. Do not cut their hours. That's the thing that's going to make me most upset, is if you're cutting your staff's hours, they're going to lose trust in you and they're going to leave. Give them things to do that's going to add value to your practice. Things you've been procrastinating for years about. This is the time to do it. You've been given downtime. You've been given time to slow down, catch up, and do things you want to do. This is the time. All right. Anyways, hopefully there was a lot of gems in this rant, but hopefully they're helpful. And I hope everyone stays healthy. Please, please, please don't go out if you're sick. Stay and give some distance to your elderly and compromised friends. Check in on them, help them, help other people in society, and let's all be safe and healthy. All right.